The 49ers are 3-0, and it feels like they lost. Jason, I know this is where I usually say hit the music and yada, 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 hit the music, bump, bump, but okay, we're here. Spit Red Option Podcast. This is Andrew Pasquini, joined always by Jason Aponte. It is a victory Monday. I wasn't very much in the mood to wear the hat, so no pomp and circumstances here. Because the win yesterday has been overridden by the news of the worst fear has been realized. Nick Bosa has a torn ACL and he is out for the season. Jason, I'll let you start.
Um, yeah, no easy way to say it. You can't replace a player like Nick Bosa. Not one for one, obviously, but it's gonna take a village. But man, just when we were getting excited about this team's prospects and everyone returning and just how well he's been playing and I think the thing that we're kind of overlooking is his impact on the defense and the cascading effect of his absence. Meaning Michael Williams is allowed to move around. Bryce Huff is allowed to be used sparingly. Now Bryce Huff is in an every down role. Michael has to play outside more than he did inside, and just there's a chain reaction to this. I don't think that it means the 49ers defense is gonna go in the shitter,
Yeah.
but you can't objectively look me in the face and tell me that the 49ers defense is any better for not having Nick
No.
Bosa. So just, it's a bummer, man. And it's just like, how much more? Right. And we were just, on the show yesterday. And it's funny, right? Because that's good to hear about the prognosis. And I said, I'll reserve judgment on that and wait for tomorrow. And boom, we get that. But look, man, the team's gonna have to rally around it. I obviously believe that we're gonna go through some trade scenarios and Kyle Shanahan, the reason that we're doing it, just so you don't think that we're throwing shit at the wall, is Kyle Shanahan said we'll always explore those options. They just have to make sense. So that means we have to explore those options and see maybe what that looks like. But damn, man, that really takes the wind out of a Victory Monday sales. Just Bosa was incredible, man, and just get healthy, and we'll see you next year, buddy.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where like there's obviously been a lot of injuries already. Ayuk and Mustafa. It's not going to be here till week 6, and then obviously Kittle and Purdy and Juwan Jennings, but those were all short term injuries, right? Like Purdy should be back on this week, if not next week. Kittle's going to be back soon. Ayuk's going to be back soon. This is the first real gut punch. This is the real. You're not getting Nick Bosa back. And Jason, you said it perfectly. What this does to the defensive line, the Niners spent the entire offseason reworking the defensive line, and a lot of the reworking had to do with how is this going to fit with Nick Bosa. Bryce Huff is a great example of that because he's been playing his ass off the last 2 weeks. I think this is the second week in a row he was among the top, PFF grade getters on the defense. And now
He
he
was the highest
stepped in.
graded, ninety
Yeah, he
point
was the
one.
highest. Was he highest grade last week? I know he was the highest grade this week.
No, he. I don't know if he was highest graded last week, but I know that Mac Jones was the highest graded on offense, and Bryce was the highest graded on defense.
And now that totally changes Bryce Huff's situation. And at the same end, like Michael Williams, how do you use him now? Because of Nick Bosa, you were able to kick him on the inside on pass rushing situations and things like that. What does this mean for Yetur Gross-Matos' role? All this, like, it's an avalanche, and there is no, okay, we only have to survive with Jake Tongas and Luke Farrell for 4 weeks. We only have to survive with Mac Jones for a couple weeks. We only have to survive this wide receiver group, which, by the way, this wide receiver group, a lot of credit, right? But we only have to survive with this group for a couple weeks until Ayuk and Demarcus Robinson gets back. There is no returning from this. I mean, you could talk about the names you want to trade, no matter how small, no matter how big, unless it's like Myles Garrett, right? Which is not going to happen. Myles Garrett is not going to happen. As much fun as I want to have with that, Myles Garrett is not going to happen. There is no name out there that's going to give you a 1-for-1 Nick Bosa. The closest is going to be Trey Hendrickson, but even then, Trey Hendrickson's no Nick Bosa. So I like it's one of these things where I do believe the defense will be fine-ish, right? Because it's going to be tough without your premier pass rusher. It's going to be tough without Nick Bosa, obviously, but we saw for 3 quarters yesterday that defense can survive, right? It played well even without Nick Bosa, but there's just no replacing Nick Bosa, and that's the issue. And like you look at the schedule, right, and be like, okay, well, it's easy, the Niners should win, whatever. And this is still a playoff team, in my opinion. But then once you get to like the playoff portion of this schedule and be like, well, can this pass rush get past Philly's offensive line? Can this pass rush get past a potential Lions offensive line? Like things like that. And then that's where the questions become difficult. Like I don't think Nick Bosa by himself removes the Niners from a playoff spot, because I still think that schedule is still just sitting there. Like that schedule still exists, Jason. Like it's going to be relatively easy if the Niners take care of business. But then when you get to the playoff portion and those offensive lines you're going to have to face, it's just going to be a question of, okay, how are they going to get after the quarterback? They're probably not. And then a lot of what this defense is the being able to get to the quarterback with 4. And like it was finally happening. Like they were getting after the quarterback with 4 these past few weeks. And now that becomes a lot harder without Nick Bosa.
And, again, this is a massive blow. I don't want to undersell this, but it's not. I guess where I'm going with this is, with all the injuries that are going on across the league, you never know where you will be health-wise in the playoffs facing a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't wish for injuries for someone else. That's not what I'm saying. What I mean is, you don't know what, if you go into a game that you're like, oh my God, you're facing the Green Bay Packers on the road. Well, they're out with Micah Parsons is not in that game, and Xavier McKinney's injured. Like you don't know. So again, like the 49ers are certainly not going to pack this up. No. The 49ers defense is going to, be fine. The 49ers are going to make the playoffs. All of those things are true. But it's like significantly throwing rocks at yourself or having rocks thrown at you when you're just about to get to the top of health-wise and someone just hits you with like a boulder. And just is like, now bounce back from that as well too. And it's like, how much more? Right? And yeah. And another thing too about any potential trade, because I can feel it in my bones already. When the 49ers don't end up with Trey Hendrickson or whoever it is that you want, you have to remember that the other team has to say yes as well. Yeah. Right? Like, just because you want a football player from their team doesn't mean that you can take the slider off and say that they have no say in the matter. So I just want you to keep that in mind. Regardless of whoever it is the 49ers find a way to replace Nick Bosa with, whether it's somebody, off the street, maybe like a Shaq Barrett, which shout out to Ariel, he pointed that out, or like, you make a trade for somebody who is like a mid-level guy. If you don't end up with the player that you wanted, the other team has to say yes, and they have a say in the matter as well too. So just want to make sure that we put that out there before you start adding John Lynch on Twitter. Why didn't you trade for Trey Hendrickson? The Bengals have to say yes as well too. So
yeah, and then like Vish here, this is the name I was thinking of, Bradley Chubb, like maybe a middle level guy that you can have a reclamation project, because obviously he isn't what the Dolphins were hoping he'd be after they traded for him from Denver. Maybe you get a middle tier guy that ideally, the Kosaric Sala connection has risen a lot.
Arden
of guys.
Key again?
Arden Key again, dude. Kerry Hyderhive, man. Let's run that.
No,
back.
Like he's cooked. No. Arden Key again, though. Like legit. Like Arden Key should be a viable target for sure.
Yeah. So it's as fun as it is to throw out the Trey Hendricksons and then Myles Garrett. I saw Max Crosby already in there. Like,
not gonna happen.
That's probably not the level the Niners are going to be looking at. They're going to be looking at that middle level, middle tier, where they're not going to try and punt the future too much. It's just, I think you have to get used to the idea of there's not going to be a Nick Bosa not walking through that door. Like, there's not going to be a Nick Bosa type. It's going to have to be, and I hate this with the Warriors, how they've turned this the strength in numbers thing, but it's going to have to be that situation. It's not going to be a top tier guy. It's going to be a middle tier. Hopefully they get it to work. I mean, another name that I saw floated that I don't think would be the worst is like Chase Young. Think in that realm, not those names exactly, but in that realm of
Kayvon Thibodeau.
Kayvon Thibodeau. There's plenty of names out there that we're gonna throw out there that are going to be possible. And the NFL season moves fast, Jason. Yeah, we're already Niners wise, at least because there is a Monday night game going on. But Niners wise, we're on to week 4. We're already halfway to the trade deadline, right? So like it's slowly getting to that point of okay, we know who the teams are who are going to be contending, and we kind of have an idea of the teams who aren't going to be out there. I mean, how about Cam Jordan, with New Orleans, right? Like a guy like that. I don't know if he helps. Brian Burns isn't going to happen. It's just, it sucks. Like at the end of the day, it sucks. Like I think the Niners will be fine as a whole, as a unit. I know yesterday I was like joking about Super Bowl thoughts and all that shit, but like I don't think that's in the realm of possibility right now. But really, it wasn't. I don't think at yesterday's moment when Bosa was healthy. It's a bummer day because I think, and it's really as a whole, Jason, like I feel like the tough part is everybody wants an answer on the injuries things, and there just is none, right? Like what? Like I see people talking about the strength and conditioning coach, but what's the strength and conditioning coach supposed to do about Nick Bosa's leg just sticking to the ground a little too long and an ACL going out? So it's one of those things where I understand the frustration, but really at the end of the day, I think the feeling should just be sad. Like it's okay to be sad. Like mad doesn't have to turn, or sad doesn't have to turn into angry. Sometimes there's nothing to be angry about. It's just, this is a sad day. And that's just what it is, man. Like it's football. Football's a violent sport. Players get hurt, all that stuff, but it just sucks. It's sad.
The bummer is, everything was looking up. Michael Williams is rounding into shape, and we will never know the potential of this defense this season. And I think the reason for optimism is Robert Saleh is going to be able to craft a good game plan. Again, it's not going to be a 1-for-1 person that's going to fill in for Nick Bosa. It's going to take a village, but you have the right defensive mind to get it done, and you're watching the growth of Michael Williams. By the way, Michael Williams was injured in this game, led the team with 6 pressures. Like the stuff that you're starting to see is very good. Alfred Collins is going to get more of a time. So I want to bring this back to our expectations for this team in the offseason, in which we said we're likely not looking at a Super Bowl run. We are looking at the future, and we're looking to see the development of the rookies. Well, you have 3 straight wins in 3 weeks, and you feel really good about that, and you start to think, hey, how high can this team reach? But the same thing's on the menu as from the offseason. So when people say, oh, well, the Super Bowl's out, we only just recently started thinking about that. That was not the mindset of this team that was in this offseason. This offseason was about, hey, we just want to see some development from the rookies. We're looking forward to next season, and we just want to make the playoffs and see what happens. So it's strange to see the dynamic and the change shift from, oh man, now we're not making the Super Bowl. I don't think anybody was thinking the San Francisco 49ers were going to make the Super Bowl with Nick Bosa. But that changes when you see the first 3 weeks and you see how well this team had been playing.
Yeah, and like we have Peter Lee here with a comment. Saleh made the Niners defense top 5 back in 2020 without Bosa. But that's a different defense, right? That was a defense coming off of a Super Bowl appearance, and all the pieces were still there in 2020, and they lost Bosa, and obviously the season went sideways. But this is a rebuilt defense, right? This defense was built from the ground up with Saleh and with Kocurek in this offseason. So it's different. I understand. Like I like the optimism, Peter. Like I do like the optimism of, hey, Saleh's done it before without Bosa. He can do it again. But this is a different defense. This isn't a defense coming off of a Super Bowl appearance. This isn't a defense coming off of being a top 5 defensive unit in the league. This is a defense that has 5 draft picks on it, right? 5 draft picks. Upton Stout's playing an important role. Marcus Siegel's playing an important role. Michael Williams playing an important role. Yep. CJ West, Alfred Morris, Alfred Collins.
Alfred Morris is back.
Alfred Morris is back. I wanted to make the joke of go get Baker Mayfield and posting the photo of him in the 3-point stance in the pass rush for the Panthers. But I do like the attempt of positivity, Peter. I do, but it's a
No.
little different than the 2020 season because
Yeah.
it's a different unit.
And I want to say this as well too, pointing to that 2020 season and saying that you feel like, because that's an anomaly. You know, you lost Nick Bosa that season. You know, you have Richard Sherman going in and out. I don't want to point to something that probably shouldn't have happened as something that can happen again. Having said that, I do believe that this defense is more talented than the defense in 2020, all across the board. I mean, Diamador Lenore, for God's sakes, is 3 weeks. He's allowed 30 yards, on the catches. So it's this defense is better. So that is there, but it's not an apples to apples comparison. And 2020 was an absolute strange season for everyone because COVID and there was nobody in the stands and the 49ers had to play football in Arizona and they still did all that. So look, again, this season's not over. The 49ers are a playoff team, but if your mind after 3 games and you're starting to think, hey, the 49ers have won 3 straight games, 2 of them without Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Malik Mustafa, like you start to creep into your mind, and then you look around the league and you're like, uh-oh, Philly has a fatal flaw that you can see that you can kind of exploit. The Rams just gave that game away. Yes, Green Bay was talking about being undefeated, which, by the way, LaFleur slammed that player today in the press conference for even, whispering at that. So I understand why now all of a sudden, because things do change, and it is a week-to-week league, but the expectations don't change from what this offseason was supposed to be. It was supposed to be development from the rookies, seeing what you wanted to see. But the problem is now is after you start to get all excited, now this Nick Bosa news, comes out. So we'll see. But the 49ers are going to be in the playoffs. When you look around in the NFC, it's not like anybody's running away with this thing, man. It's not, and they're in a great spot. Now let's do this. If the San Francisco 49ers in their next 14 games go 7-7, that's 10-7.
Yeah, it's probably a playoff spot.
That's a playoff spot. Are they going to go 7-7? Probably not. So, just doing the math, and this is why it's so important to stack these wins while you can. Doing the math, week 6, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Malik Mustafa, Brock Purdy, all these guys are going to be back. Now, Nick Bosa's not going to be there, and I don't understand why it's an eye for an eye. Like, we have to get one guy back and give someone back. But it just is what it is. And the 49ers are still in the way and on the right path to getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look, as I said, let's look a little ahead to the schedule here, just so people can kind of understand why we still have this optimism. Jacksonville should be a win. At Los Angeles Rams, which a coin flip. At the Buccaneers, a coin flip. The Falcons should be a win, right? Like I watched that team lose 30-0 yesterday to the Carolina Panthers. I saw a stat that Michael Penix. I saw a stat that Michael Penix is 0-4 in games where his defense allows more than 7 points. It's not great. That doesn't feel good. And then
did you see real quick, because this is 49ers coded. Did you see what the Falcons just did with their offensive coordinator?
No. Oh, yes, I did, Jason.
What did they do?
Tell the people. He has to go from the box to the field, right? That doesn't feel like a problem at all, right? That Niners don't have a history of that. And what happened to that coordinator at the Niners? The Niners went to the Super Bowl that year too, right? What happened to that coordinator?
He's the coordinator for the Jets right now. And Howdy says, by the way, thanks for the Pearsall over Warren suggestion in fantasy. You the man. Appreciate you. But hey, real quick, and I know this isn't fantasy, Jaylen Warren's snap share has jumped over to like 80%. Like, he's a smash play almost every week. I mean, that's a bell cow. I didn't realize they were going to do that.
But after Tampa Bay, it's Atlanta, it's at Houston, it's at the Giants, and you got the Rams, Cardinals, Panthers, Browns, and then a bye week. So like there's, I would say 5 wins in there alone, right?
Are they going to win on bye week?
We'll find out if they win on the bye week, Jason.
Can they beat the bye week? I don't know if the 49ers have ever beaten the bye week.
Hey man, as long as they get healthy on the bye week, I think that'll be a W. So that's really.
Here's what I want in the bye week, and I'm all for players living their lives. I want every single person to be in a cabin like in Final Destination where he like puts off all the corners and and he's like even opening up the food with gloves on. Like that's literally what I want. Derrick Henry touchdown. My God, this game is about to be 41-40.
Yeah.
So
We'll try and wrap up here quick. Get
no,
out
no,
of
no,
here.
no,
So
no, no. We're good. Everybody,
we're good, but this is a game to enjoy. This is Ravens. Jason,
it is going to be a fun game.
Let's talk about some slightly more positive things. The day-to-day injuries that came out of this. Because hey, baby steps, right? Because
and it's funny. Positive. We're all worried about Nick Bosa, and then Kyle Shanahan's like, CJ West broke his thumb. Cool, man. Like,
yeah. So CJ West broke his thumb. We'll have surgery tomorrow. It sounds like he might play on Sunday with a club on his hand, so that's good.
Yeah. Mac it's not Jones, like you need your thumb to play football anyway.
Mac Jones may be something to watch because we're not 100% sure on Purdy's status. It seems like he's trending to play, but Mac Jones is day-to-day with a knee injury. Michael Williams is day-to-day with a wrist injury. He came back with that same wrist injury. Then Ronaldo Green with a neck injury. He's day-to-day. He also came back. Yeah, man, it's a day that ends in Y for 49ers Twitter. The injuries are mounting up.
Ronaldo Green did not allow a single yard in coverage yesterday. Not bad. I mean, obviously he got dinged for the PI, so you know that's one thing. The CJ West thing, I'm sure if he misses this week, whatever. He'll be back, the week after, but he could play this week. The Matt Jones thing. Really? Like, oh, my knee hurts and Brock Purdy's ready to go. So, look, I always say this, and I legitimately mean this. We are not the content creators. This team creates so much content that, like, literally all we're trying to do is just, like, keep it all together. And, this is what it is. With all the Bosa stuff, all this stuff fell by the wayside. But for the most part, it looks like, and, Kyle is so fucking funny. We'll see about DeMarcus Robinson. What is there to see? He's off suspension. Here's what you say. DeMarcus Robinson's ready to roll, and we're excited to add him. What are you going to see? What are you seeing? So it's like he's just being funny or whatever, but DeMarcus Robinson is going to play against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So may Juwan Jennings. Ricky Pearsall's a dog. So the 49ers have a chance for, being 4-0. I want to ask you this too, Andrew.
Yeah.
For all the shit that is talked about Kyle Shanahan, for all the things that people say about Kyle Shanahan, missing your starting quarterback, an all-pro tight end, having Sky Moore run 34 routes yesterday, having Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and you're 3-0. And now Nick Bosa's out. And Nick Bosa was out for most of this game. You're 3-0. What do people want from Kyle Shanahan more? Like, I don't understand what other coach could get this team to operate at this level with this many people out. I don't understand. And it's just like nobody wants to give any credit to coach.
We're already 3 games into the season, Jason, but I think the play call of 2025 happened yesterday. And that was the 4th and 2 with your backup quarterback. Just nuts on the table, a straight go route to Ricky Pearsall, and they convert it. Like what more can you ask from your head coach in that situation? He recognizes a mismatch with Pearsall, and he says, we're going to take it. And it's your backup quarterback, man. Hey man, my bathtub pipes are clogged right now. I blame Kyle too. I got to fix that.
I'll be honest, man. A dynasty team that I've been in a championship with, we just lost CeeDee Lamb for 4 to 6 weeks, and I blame Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, but what a call by Kyle Shanahan. I guess that's how we'll start this conversation about the actual game itself, Jason. The Niners, I believe they were trailing in the situation. They're tie game 6-6. Niners facing a 4th and 2. And with his backup quarterback, he says, hey, I'm going to trust you to throw a ball up to Ricky Pearsall. And Ricky Pearsall, it's a hell of a throw. It's a hell of a catch. 2 plays later, the Niners score their only touchdown of the game to make it 13-6.
Real quick, Andrew, my bad. Real quick, Andrew. Chat, what I want to tell you is please put stupid things that are wrong with anything and say I blame Kyle Shanahan. Like let's get this going and let's keep this funny. This will help with the algorithm as well too.
But that was the play that really turned the game around. I know Arizona responded with a touchdown, and then Mac throws the interception. Which, by the way, Mac an all-time quote with the interception being like,
Yep.
"Yeah, the defender didn't make the play. I just threw the ball to him." Which that's the
He
humor
was
I
like, good for him.
appreciate.
He caught it.
Yeah, he caught the ball. I threw right at him. But like the Niners, they score their lone touchdown. Arizona responds with the touchdown, the interception. But the Niners offense really didn't have anything going.
Yo, Los.
Tony,
Look,
Tony,
hold on.
Tony,
He says Tylenol
you got me to
causes
stop
autism. I
middle of the
blame Kyle
sentence.
Shanahan.
You got me to stop in the middle of my sentence, man. That's a good one, Tony. Tony, you win. You win. Comment of the day. You won. You did it. I don't even remember where I was going. Ricky Pearsall's cool, Jason. That's where I'm.
Yeah, Ricky Pearsall's really good. Ricky Pearsall's really good. At foot and look, and the reason I can laugh at that is because I literally was just having a conversation with Averly's mom on the way back home, and she was like, "I didn't take any Tylenol," and Averly's on the spectrum. He was like, "So what the hell are they talking about?" I was like, "Exactly." I was like, "This is nonsense."
Shanahan's fault.
Shanahan's fault. God damn it, Kyle. Like, oh man. Anyway, I look, Ricky Pearsall, that was the easiest call in the world, basically. But third in the league in receiving yards, and he only had 52 against the Saints, and he was missed on a 50-yard touchdown. Like, the young man, I cannot wait. All right, so let's get really positive now. Let's really get positive. I cannot wait for this offense to have Brandon Ayuk at X, Ricky Pearsall at Z, George Kittle, and on the field. I dare you as a defense to cover all three of them. I dare you. And I don't know how you will. Yeah. And again, we were talking about it yesterday. Ricky Pearsall beating up on a bad secondary, fine. But Ricky Pearsall doing that when everyone knows you're the man, like no one's shocked when Justin Jefferson steps on the field and they're like, oh shit, who's 18? Or like Jamar Chase is on the field and they're like, damn, who's that number 1 guy? That when everyone knows you're the man and you're the man, you're the man. And again, this is terrible podcasting because that didn't even make sense, but you get exactly what I'm talking about. Ricky Pearsall, man, it's been a long time coming, but I don't want to hear any more about Kyle Shanahan and drafting and who you wanted and all that stuff. You wanted Ladd McConkey? Fine. Keenan Allen is busting his ass right now, and pause. And as a better receiver, So I don't want to hear that Ladd McConkey shit anymore. Ricky Pearsall better than Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, 8 receptions, 117 yards for Pearsall, no touchdowns, but I mean, really, as I said, the offensive play of the game. I mean, the longest play from scrimmage from either side was the Ricky Pearsall play.
2 of his catches, only 2. Of his catches on the season have not gone for first downs. Only 2.
Yeah. He's really stepped into because I mean, I remember receiver 2 years ago we were talking about with all the first down receptions. That's Brandon Ayuk. That's the same conversation we had about Ayuk, right? Is in 2023, a lot of his receptions resulted in first downs. And Ricky Pearsall is that role. And now the Niners are going to get him with Ayuk, with DeMarcus Robinson, with George Kittle. Like it kind of feels like the Niners are in a spot where like you didn't think it going into the season, but this might sneaky be one of the best offenses Kyle Shanahan will have at his disposal in his 8 years with the Niners. And this isn't the Debo Ayuk offense. This is totally different. This is a team that can go deep, and then not to say they haven't gone deep in the past, but this team has a potential to be more of a vertical. I gotta wait 2 more years for the next Demon Slayer movie. I like that. Thanks, Kyle. This is going to be more of a vertical offense once everybody gets healthy.
Yeah, and the woman from Penguin is not going to return in Batman 2. Thanks a lot, Kyle. And Batman 2 is not going to come out until like 2028. Thanks, Kyle. Like I can do this as well too. Like I can just make up things to be upset about. Look, this offense, when it gets the sum of its parts all together. And by the way, this offense desperately needs to get healthy because they cannot sustain Christian McCaffrey touching the football 436 times extrapolated over 17 games. I don't even know. This man is going to evaporate into dust if he continues to touch the ball at this volume. Now, is that a product of what they need him to do because there's nobody else that can get open? You know, when you got Sky Moore running routes and Marquez Valdez-Scantling running routes, yes, 100%. But they desperately need one more guy. And at least this week, Demarcus Robinson and Jawan Jennings can do that. Like, I want to live in a world where Christian McCaffrey touches the ball 15 times, Brian Robinson, who still has the longest rush for the 49ers this year at 19 yards. I want to live in a world where he sees more than 6 snaps and Christian McCaffrey is used more efficiently. I want to say something else too. After watching the film today, Christian McCaffrey is nowhere near that person that he was in 2023. But he is vital and imperative to this offense, and it's the gravity that he brings and the safety and stability that he brings. He's still a very good football player. It's hard for him to be 2023 Christian McCaffrey when 2023 Christian McCaffrey went Super Saiyan on everyone.
Yeah.
So stop asking for something that, like, you did the impossible, now you want him to do the impossible twice after, you know, the PCL injury. I don't want Christian McCaffrey to continue to get hurt because, you know, we were just talking about with Nick Bosa and how about like this offense and, you know, or how, you know, they can supplant, you know, that and figure it out. If Christian McCaffrey gets hurt, yeah, we just fully just turn this shit into like, you know, draft, you know, talk and where we're going if Christian McCaffrey can't even just get on the field anymore.
Most receptions through 3 games this season: Puka Nacua 29, Jake Ferguson 27, Christian McCaffrey 25. Nacua and Ferguson are guys who are supposed to catch the ball a lot, and McCaffrey's a running back.
Christian McCaffrey has more receptions than Justin Jefferson through 3 weeks. Do whatever you want with that information. That is, it's completely up to you. Whether you think that's good or bad, that is something that is 1,000% surprising.
And it's almost like Shanahan's trying to make him get a big play with how many touches he's getting, but it's just not working. And that's why I think you got to almost turn the touches back. I mean, you went out and got Brian Robinson, right? You have these receivers that you can make work. I mean, even if you want to throw it out of the backfield, like Kyle Juszczyk is more than capable of doing that, right? So like it's very interesting. I think I saw that McCaffrey has the most touches through 3 games since like Derrick Henry or something like that a couple of years ago. So like they are overworking Christian McCaffrey. It's working for now, but it just depends, you know, depends on how long it actually works out, right? Because it's not quite working how you want it to because he's not having those big games. Like 17 rushes for 52 yards is not a stat line you are used to seeing from Christian McCaffrey. He does get picked up by the 10 receptions for 88 yards a bit, right? 140 total yards. We talked about it yesterday. But at some point, like Christian McCaffrey's, if he's getting this workload, he has to be closer to 17 rushes for 100 yards. He has to have a run of 30, 40 yards, but he just hasn't had that. I thought he was running 25 miles an hour in the offseason. I haven't seen it yet, but something needs to give with Christian McCaffrey's touches. And I don't know if it's just getting George Kittle and Ayuk and Demarcus Robinson back, but it's a heavy workload. And it's almost like you're tempting fate at this point with Christian McCaffrey and his workload.
You know what's funny about the 25 mile an hour thing? Because Andrew's being completely funny about that, you know, and so was Kyle. But people were like, oh my God, Christian McCaffrey hit 25. Do you know who hits 25 miles an hour when they run? Usain fucking Bolt. Christian McCaffrey's not running 25 miles an hour. Are you insane? With equipment on, he's running 25. Like, are you insane? Like, come on. Like, so it's just funny. But look, I think this is just a product of where the 49ers are right now. And this is another reason that I have to at least give Kyle Shanahan some credit here. Mm-hmm. David Lombardi, you know, tweeted something that I thought was very, very, very insightful. And let me explain. He said, what if Arizona didn't have Kyler Murray, Trey McBride, you know, like all of the players that correlate to the 49ers? And what do you think they would do in this game? And I thought that was the perfect way to put it. Is the 49ers are 3-0 and nobody seems to be looking at it like, holy shit, the 49ers are 3-0 given all of these injuries, and giving credit to Kyle Shanahan and saying who could have weathered a storm like this. And they're winning games like at the end of games, like again, like with the backup quarterback going down the field 80 yards to, set up a field goal. Like
Mhm.
I understand we're all upset about Nick Bosa. I'm upset. I lit a candle. I sat and, I went through it, but, at the same time, the 49ers are 3-0. And again, if
Yeah.
they go 500 for the rest of the season, 500 again, and 500 feels like worst case scenario. Like they blow some games that they're supposed to win. They're 10-7 and they're probably going to make the playoffs. So it's just hard to not be optimistic still, even after this injury, which fucking sucks.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to keep referencing 2024 but like that's a reference point, right? At this point, could you imagine, Jason, if the Niners were 3-0 last season with Brandon Ayuk not playing, with Josh Dobbs starting 2 of the 3 games, with obviously no Debo, right? Let's say Debo wasn't available in the 3 games last year. All the injuries going on, no. Whatever player, no Malik Mustafa, I guess last year, who was the starting safety last year in week 1, whoever may be, right? So like all these pieces.
Oh, last year, 2024, it wasn't.
I don't remember
Malik.
who the safety. Hufanga. I'm an idiot.
Oh, Huff.
So just imagine like all those things. Josh Dobbs, your quarterback, no Hufanga, no Ayuk. You lose Kittle for 4 games. That Niners team isn't going 3-0. That Niners team would be 0-3.
Well, and Kittle and bless his heart, Kittle blessed us with a touchdown and said, "All right, I'm out." Like he was the Jake Gyllenhaal, like like at least he, I know George Kittle's still good. Like it's not even whether or not like he's going to be good. I'm not tripping about that. Like when he comes back, he's gonna be fine. And this is the answer right here, man. This is the answer right here.
Yeah. So like it's the difference between having a defense and not having a defense, because the Niners have scored. Through 3 games, they have scored 17 points, 26 points, 16 points. And outside of the 26 points, 17 and 16 aren't numbers that typically win games in 2025 NFL, right? Like that's just plain. I mean, look at some of the scores yesterday. But the Niners are 3-0 despite scoring 17 and 16 points against division rivals, because the defense, like the defense went from a question mark of like all these young guys to like the defense is back, dude. Like the defense is all the way back. And that might and it might be the case with or without Bosa, but the Niners defense is back. The energy's there. I mean, did you see Salah's reaction after what should have been or what wasn't a safety on Kyler Murray? Like that's the energy the Niners were missing last year. And even still more than their opponents. That's all that matters. Yeah, exactly, Jesse. Thank you very much. And like even like if you want to talk about the Robert Saleh Jason on the offense, Kendrick Bourne, dude, like just Kendrick Bourne's energy alone, like feels like that signing is already worth it.
I'm gonna find that video of him and Ricky dancing, and I want you to post it because oh my god, it's so good. All right, go ahead.
But like there's just like despite all the injuries and everything bad that's happened, there was a lot of conversation. I think I got the video, Jason. I pulled.
You got it. Already. Put it. Please put it because like let's lighten the mood. And also, by the way, if you want better news, Thursday Night Football is Seattle and Arizona. One of those idiot franchises is gonna lose. So you're getting even further distance from that. You got the video? You know which one I'm talking about? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So this guy here.
Yep.
But like after all the talks of last season and the vibes going into the year, like despite all the injuries, the vibes are here, right? Like the vibes are still good, and it's because of Robert Saleh, it's because of Kendrick Bourne, it's because of all these guys. So it's just it sucks. Like again, be sad about the Nick Bosa situation, but this team is 3-0 despite everything that's already happened. So like I guess the best way to say it, Jason, is what's one more injury at this point, right? Like and obviously it's hard to do. You just want to
put that video back up because I want to break it down real quick. Yeah, I mean,
let's do the
Look at this. All right, so look at this. All right, Excellent handshake, TikTok dance, TikTok. Like, look at that, bro. Like, you're looking at watch how in sync these guys are, and he's only been here for a little while, man. Like, look, we're just looking at this through a optimistic lens, and obviously everything is all doom and gloom right now. And someone outside looking in would say the Niners are cooked, man. How can they do anything with Nick Bosa? But there's so much that's different about this team from the way that they're constructed, how they're coached. Obviously, Robert Saleh's an upgrade. The vibes, and this is part of it, man. Like, look at this, right? Like, look at this, like little 1-2 dance or whatever that these guys are having. Like, there are things that are different. There's no metric to quantify, vibes or
That's not what
how it's going.
DVOA is.
Yeah, or what is it, DVAP or whatever? Oh my God! Shout out to East Bay Chris. He got everyone with that one. I love that tweet so bad. But yeah, man, like this team is right now. Obviously, they're all hurting for Nick Bosa. We're all hurting because we lost Nick Bosa. But this team is getting back. And again, this is what I'm gonna say from last night's show. They're not getting back players. They're getting back guys. Like
Yeah.
dudes. You're getting back George Kittle. You're getting back Brandon Ayuk. These aren't just, oh, it's a starter. These are guys. These are teams would kill to have guys like this come back, right? So, I mean, regardless of whatever shape Brandon Ayuk is in, just him on the field as a threat alone will open up things for everyone else. So, we went from this team now being like, hey, this offense is going to have to pick up this defense, to this defense is always going to give the 49ers an opportunity at the end of the game. The offense is going to be where they need to pick. And if they do, God help you, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's the part. Again, it's 3 weeks. We have a small sample size. There's still more to go. There's still more for this 49ers team to develop, and that's evident with everything that you guys are seeing. You know that this team has not played its best football, and you know that this team is very close to breaking things, through, with the offense. So I'm sad about Nick Bosa, just like all of you are, but I'm not done. Like, there's no way I'm done with this team, and there's no way that I'm going to sit here and say that this team is cooked in any way. You can take it off the screen now, Andrew.
Yeah, no, I think that's the best way to put it, Jason. Like it's tough now. It feels bad now, but the Niners have a game on Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. A very
and nobody's
going to
feel bad for you.
Yeah, nobody's going to feel bad. The schedule is going to continue. It's the nature of the NFL. The Niners are now going to have to do what they can do with it, and we'll see where it goes, right? Because they're as we said, Jason, the Niners are 3-0. They're 3-0. That is a fact. They are 3 games that they could have lost, but the Niners are on the other side of it as 3-0, first place in the NFC West, and everything's fine. And this is why these early season games, like we talk about traditionally, the Niners having these slow starts and starting off poorly and then having to win games at the end of the season. This is why you want to start hot, is because you got these wins in your back pocket. They're already 2-0 in the division, right? Like they have these wins in their pocket already. So there is, I'm obviously not going to sit here and say you could lose games, but there is room for error, unlike previous seasons where they start 3-5, 3-6, and have to win every game throughout. There's room for error at this moment. And unfortunately for the Niners, they're in a spot where they do need some room for error.
6 teams are 3-0.
Mhm.
3 in the AFC, 3 in the NFC. Can you argue that the 3 best teams in the NFC are 3-0 right now? I mean, Eagles, Bucks, Niners.
Yeah.
I would say this, though. Even though they lost, and I know this is crazy, for me to say, I still think the Rams are better than the Eagles. They just fucking absolutely choked and vomited all over themselves.
Two blocked field goals, man, is insane.
2 blocked field goals is gross, and there's no way that you allow all of a sudden these throws to happen. Now Jalen Hurts is a passer, couldn't score a touchdown, or throw a touchdown the entire season. All of a sudden now he's a like you, and this is the point, Vish, right? So yesterday, while we were doing the instant reaction, the kicker and the punter are really good for the 49ers, but the special teams unit is still atrocious. And this is how you lose games. That's how you lose games. The Eagles are not better than the Rams. Not this year. Because even last year, the Rams were giving them fits. Not this year. They're not better than them this year. It's hard to say that because the Eagles won, right? Like, and Eagles fans would be like, they'd be yapping. But can you argue that the teams that are undefeated aren't the best? And you know what? By the way, we were talking about the Packers. God damn, is that Cleveland Browns defense so good.
Scary.
So good. If they had any semblance of an offense, anything, just anything, my God, that Cleveland Browns defense is tops. Think about this. I just watched Derrick Henry score a 33-yard touchdown. He had 26 yards the entire game against the Cleveland Browns the week before. The Cleveland Browns defense is legit. I am dreading that game. I don't care who their quarterback is. I am dreading that game. But yeah, the 49ers right now are one of those teams. They are one of those teams. So
yeah, plain and simple. Jason, we're at about 45 minutes. I feel like we've covered a lot. As I said, feel good. You got to feel good about the 3-0. Obviously, news today makes it feel worse, but you pull the microscope back a little bit. This team is 3-0. I've said it about 450 times this episode because I'm reminding myself.
They are 3-0.
They are 3-0. Doesn't feel like it, but they're winning games, and that's what you need at this point. But you got to feel good. The Bosa injury obviously throws a wrench through it, but they're 2-0. I mean, really, the only team that's better positioned than the Niners right now within their division is the Chargers, because the Chargers are 3-0 in their division already. They're 3-0 on the season, but 3-0 in division because they've already played all three teams. I actually saw a stat that this is the first time the Chargers have a two-game lead in the AFC West since 2009, which is kind of crazy to think. But it's hard.
Colin Cowherd thinks he's the greatest coach of all time.
I'm a big Jim Harbaugh guy, and that's the fucking most asinine thing I've ever heard.
Of course it is.
That is. I love Jim Harbaugh more than anybody.
Harbaugh's the greatest coach of all time.
He's my favorite football person of all time, but that's a crazy thing.
Well, if that's the case, Kyle Shanahan clears it because he has so many more wins and he's been to more Super Bowls. Like, what are we talking about?
Shanahan's missing the college national championship, Jason.
I mean, well, he has to just, join the national, team. I mean, he has to join the college team and cheat.
Yeah, hey man, it's not that hard. A lot of college teams do it.
I mean, all you do is cheat and then just be like, all right, I'm out. I'm going to the league.
Yeah, hey man, Jim Harbaugh had it figured out. Hey, it works. So, hey, Niners 3-0. They got the Jacksonville Jaguars coming up on Sunday. We will be back normal time Friday.
I'm going to try to find a Jacksonville Jaguars.
We'll get Tony Khan
because
Tony Khan, AEW owner.
Tony Khan.
We'll just see if we
No, I'm gonna get Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen. I don't know if you know this, buddy, and you're watching. You have an appointment on Friday to talk with the Spirit Red Option podcast, even though you're the head coach of Jacksonville.
Hey, maybe Jacksonville leaves Eric Armstead in town.
Well, why don't we reach out to Brian Thomas and find out why his quarterback's trash?
Why don't we reach out to Brian Thomas and ask him why his arms don't extend as far as they used to?
Well, because Mac Jones ain't throwing him the football anymore. Sounds to me like he wants to be a 49er, pal.
Hey, man. Hey, Brian Thomas and Eric Armstead can stay in Santa Clara next week. How about that?
Brian Thomas and Eric Armstead for a 6th-round pick and Eddie Pinheiro, who says no.
Wait, hang on. Niner legend Eddie Pinheiro can stay.
Nothing but respect for my kicker. Nothing but respect for my kicker.
A stat I'm going to use in a Niners Nation article about the kicker today. He's made his first 5 kicks in a row for the Niners. The last time Jake Moody made 5 kicks in a row was the Patriots game through the Buccaneers game. After that, he was 11 for 22. So Eddie Pinheiro already in good graces. He's made his first 5 kicks. Again, I think the more kicks he makes, the funnier and funnier the bit of him missing that first PAT is. It's funnier every kick he makes. So I'm big on Eddie Pinheiro.
No. And, I love what he said after. He was like, I have to make the kicks because if I don't, I'm not going to be here. Holy shit, does this young man get it?
Well, what I like about the Pinheiro kicks is once they go up, there's no doubt they're right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
There is no is it gonna? Because that was Moody's thing. It was, if it wasn't going in, it was damn near close to that goalpost. Eddie Pinheiro, it's just right down the middle, and I like that. It's very how you don't realize how rich you are until you have a kicker that doesn't stress you out. And
dude,
there was he's only been here for 2 weeks. There was no doubt in my mind he was making that last kick. None at
Yeah.
all. And it was right down the middle.
It was closer than an extra point, but watching kickers around the league, it's just hilarious. You know, this is the thing. It's like, it's funny because we're like, you know, I tell people all the time when we talk about offensive line, by the way, oh my God, the interior offensive line.
I wanted to stay positive after.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We don't have to talk about this now. You know, like
81 combined is a B-, Jason. Remember that. I said it on Twitter.
I like that. I like that. It's a good one. So like when I tell people like, you know, hey, you're complaining about the 49ers offensive line, I implore you to watch other people across the league. I implore you to watch these other kickers across the league. Yeah. Because oh my God, man, some of these teams are going through it. Matt Gay is about to be fired. You know, the only ones that are like legit and are gonna stay are like Joey Sly and like Chase McLaughlin, you know, 49ers legends.
What was the one yesterday?
The 49ers are a kicker factory, just not, you know, for themselves when they draft one.
The Saints were down 35-3 in the second quarter, and they brought out their kicker to try a 52-yard field goal on a 4th and 2 because you're down 35-3, and he missed it.
And the Falcons got rid of Young Hui Koo, and Parker Romo was like, he was like, those kicks, not only were they not even close, like they went and they just like went the other way. Like he was kicking the balls that everybody thought that Mitch Wishnowsky had with the knuckle punts. But yeah.
I forgot about that.
Could be worse, man. Imagine having kicker problems. Couldn't be me.
Gonna be Niners fans don't know what that's like at all. Niners fans have a kicker now. Jason, we're gonna wrap it up now. Everybody
let's
enjoy that Lions Ravens game, 7-7 here in I believe the second quarter. But Jason, we'll be back Friday talking Niners Jaguars. Enjoy the week, guys. I know it's a tough one to handle today, but just remember
we're gonna be undefeated,
3-0, first place in the NFC West. Jason Aponte, as always.
Let's go Niners. We're gonna be all right, guys.
Let's go Niners. Hug your Niners fans today.
Yeah, please.